I first saw her at the grocery store. It was one of those mundane Wednesday evenings when the sky was already dark at 6, and the fluorescent lights inside the store buzzed like a swarm of trapped insects. I was standing in the cereal aisle debating between two brands when I glanced up and saw her, my exact double, staring at me from the other end of the aisle. My heart skipped a beat. She was wearing the same navy blue coat, the same jeans, and even the same worn-out sneakers. Her hair, tied in a messy bun, was an exact replica of mine. The only difference was her eyes. They were colder, more calculating. I blinked, and she was gone. I tried to brush it off as a trick of the light, a mere figment of my imagination. But over the next few days, the sightings became more frequent and disturbing. I saw her at the coffee shop, sitting at my favorite table, sipping a latte and reading a book I had just finished. She was in the park, walking my usual route, her stride eerily mirroring mine. She was even at my office talking to my colleagues, who seemed oblivious to the fact that she wasn't me. The breaking point came when I saw her entering my apartment building. Panic surged through me as I raced up the stairs, taking them two at a time. I burst into my apartment, my heart pounding. There she was, sitting on my couch, flipping through my photo album. She looked up and smiled, a smile that didn't reach her eyes. One night, when the air was thick with tension, I decided to take a stand. I waited until she was asleep, if she even slept, and crept into the living room where she lay on the couch. "Wake up," I whispered, my voice steady despite the fear gnawing at my insides. "We need to talk." Her eyes snapped open, and for a moment there was a flicker of something, uncertainty, maybe even fear, but it was quickly replaced by that cold, calculating stare. "There's nothing to talk about," she said, sitting up and crossing her arms. "You're just delaying the inevitable." "No," I said firmly, stepping closer. "I won't let you take my life. I don't know what you are or where you came from, but this ends now." She laughed, a sound devoid of any warmth. With that, I lunged at her, a whirlwind of anger and fear. We struggled, our bodies entwined in a chaotic dance of survival. She was strong, but so was I. The adrenaline coursing through me gave me an edge, and with a final burst of strength, I pinned her to the ground. Her eyes, once so cold and calculating, now reflected something I hadn't seen before. Fear. "Please," she whispered, "don't." But I couldn't stop. I had to end this. I grabbed a nearby lamp and brought it down with all my might. There was a sickening crack, and then silence. Panting, I staggered back, staring at her motionless form. I waited for her to move, to get up and continue the fight. But she didn't. It was over. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, my mind struggling to comprehend what had just happened. Finally, I called the police, telling them there had been an intruder. They never found any evidence of her existence. No fingerprints, no ID, nothing. It was as if she had never been there. Life slowly returned to normal, but I was forever changed. I knew she could come back, or maybe there were others like her. I couldn't let my guard down. I had fought for my life once, and I would do it again if I had to. Months passed, and I began to feel a sense of normalcy returning. I even started seeing a therapist to help me process the trauma. One evening, as I sat in my living room, flipping through channels on the TV, there was a knock at the door. My heart skipped a beat, but I took a deep breath and went to answer it. Standing there was a delivery man with a package addressed to me. I signed for it and brought it inside, curious about what it could be. I hadn't ordered anything recently. I tore open the box and found a small, ornate mirror inside. There was no note, no explanation. As I gazed into the mirror, a chilling realization dawned on me. The reflection looking back at me was not my own. It was her. Her cold, calculating eyes bore into mine, and a sinister smile crept across her face. "Hello again?" she whispered, her voice echoing in my mind. "Did you really think it would be that easy?" I dropped the mirror, but it didn't shatter. Instead, the image of my doppelganger grew clearer, more defined. She was coming back, stronger than ever, and this time, I knew she wouldn't stop until she had taken everything from me. I looked around my apartment, feeling a wave of determination wash over me. I had defeated her once, and I could do it again. But as I steeled myself for the battle ahead, a thought gnawed at the edges of my mind. What if she was just the beginning?